Today I'm going to be showing you a little trick that will basically save you tons of time editing with ffmpeg. Even if you use the GUI tool for editing of videos, for basic trimming, cutting down videos and all sort of things, what you have to do generally is that, let's say I have an example like, say, the previous video I was editing, right?
Today I'm gonna show you
So this is the video
your functions.
of
Kind of
previous
how to
video,
overload your functions with
and let's say I want to cut some parts of it easily. So what you have to do is that with ffmpeg, let's input this file now. So you have to use the filter complex. Let's say you have a video stream 0, which is the starting video, and we have to trim it with start position. Okay, let's say with start position is something. Let's say 11 minutes 00, whatever. And you have to do again with a trim with the audio stream of the first video. So a trim, and then we repeat the same start and end ritual, and you do that for all of the cuts. So we basically put the cuts in a chunk and concatenate them together. So you have to use all the streams. Let's say the video stream ends is blah blah blah, whatever the time is, and let's say the output stream of the video is V0, and for the A stream the output stream is A0, and then we have to do A1, A2, A3 according to the number of cuts you are gonna do. So that's a pretty tedious process and takes a lot of time. So what about we shrink it down into a configuration file that only uses the start time and end time? That would be pretty cool, right? So I've written a script. I've written a C++ code. Filter stream. So I've written this C++ code, which is under 100 lines for given it's a C++ program, and it is going to generate the filters according to the file we give. Let's take a look at the file format first. For now, the file name is edit.
Today I'm gonna show
put
you
it right here.
how
so
to
let's say
overload
what do you
your
want to do
functions. Basically kind of works. So
with
how
this
to
file,
overload your functions
with this program. Let's say start
today
at
I'm gonna show you
0, 0, right? So we start at 0, 0. Okay, let's run it parallelly so we can do stuff in the terminal simultaneously with
today
the video
I'm gonna
being
show
played.
you how to overload your functions.
Alright, let's say we want to start at 0, 0, and they want to cut to this part, right? So it's 0, 0, 17. Alright, a quick interrupt. Since my screen ratio is kind of like too wide in the vertical section, it is 19 by 20, So that's why the text files are not visible, so I just skip them altogether. So in this quick demo I'm gonna show you the format as to which the configuration files gonna be like. So let's do it. So I'm gonna be showing you, let's say there is this trim.config, right? Now it's probably visible. Alright, so this is our format. So it's the first row of numbers are basically timestamps, so it's hour, minute, second, and millisecond, and you have to separate these two. You have to separate these two by a comma, and so on and so forth. It's basically the beginning of the video, the end of the video, the beginning of the next video, and the beginning of the other video. And that's basically the way you can do. That's basically the way the format is laid out. Don't do anything bad yet, because it's still in I just wrote it an hour ago, so it's not really that developed or sophisticated. So yeah, that's basically it. Go back to the video. And now let's see what our filter generates. So this generates this long strings of stuff with concatenation enabled, and this is the filter complex basically. So how do you enter? So I'm gonna show you how to compile it. So I'm using GCC for now. Okay, I'm gonna be bothering to type it all out. Yeah, so yeah, our first file, and we are depending on the format lib. Shout out to Victor for the author of format lib. And format lib, we want to include format core, and we want to link against the format static library lib format. And if you do that, it basically, yeah, it compiles. Now we run it, and as you can see, it's this. So how do you include that in ffmpeg? So that's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's say we want to out.mp4, and now we want to enter filter complex. And we basically want to have it as a argument to a out. And remember that the script generates output streams at V and A respectively. So we want to map V and map audio. And let's say override at HTML4, and it started doing that. Let's close our original video. Alright, let's have our original video actually.
Today I'm gonna show you
This is our original video.
how to overload your functions.
And this is what
basically
we
kind of works. So how to overload your functions with
did right now.
Today I'm gonna show
macro
you
tricks. See the
how
difference.
to overload your functions.
Our
Basically kind of works. So
very
how to
simple.
overload your functions.
Overload this
with
function. We want to cut it right here.
based on
tricks.
the number of arguments it has using the C macro. In this video gonna be very simple.
We want to cut it right here.
So today, let's get to
it.
I hope it's gonna be pretty. I'm gonna be showing you a lot of
we didn't actually get to
today. So after a pretty lot of today, let's see.
What the video is.
And I'm gonna be showing you today a lot of
cruise.
So I guess if my hand heals pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's
as
15
it's supposed to be.
or 4.
But I don't know.
Let's do that.
For now.
And let's run this. Oops. Alright, it's done.
Today I'm going to show you how to overload your functions. Basically,
as you can see by
works.
comparison,
how to overload your functions with
the video is going to be trimmed
macro
as soon as I zoom in into the picture.
Our goal in this
as I
video
zoom
is
in,
pretty simple, pretty quickly,
and it cuts to the end of the
supposed
video.
to be.
Now, if you have, you can have. So there are some limitations that I want to address, which is basically it cannot really do anything besides streaming. All it can do is streaming, and there are a lot of limitations as to how I can handle bad input from the user. So one thing we can do that we can specify, let's say we specify the configuration file. So there's only constant configuration file, and we want to specify the configuration file. So how do I do that? So let's go to our code, filter FC, and we want to replace it. We want to give it now explicit argument, argc char rv, and if let's say argc is less than 2, then char fn config fn equals to, let's say we default it to nickconf, right? We default it to working with only one hand is pretty bad. Oh, I need to disable this. So config file name equals no. So it's less than 2. Oops, I forgot. Nickconf else. What do you want to do? So this is gonna be rv plus 1 the reference set and we get the argument. Fantastic. So cfg fn, and we are good to go. Now let's compile it. Let's compile it. Oh, I defined it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna working with one hand when programming is like string constant. I hate these warnings. Oh, dude. I don't like warnings. No, it's gonna be good. And let's see. Yeah, right. If we give it another file, it's not gonna put out anything. So I have to make sure there is a file checking. Alright, let's create trim.config. Let's see what our program generates. Trim config, and it's basically starting at 1 and giving it a 2 minute. So the total video is going to be 1 minute, right? So let's do it. Let's ffmpeg. Alright, it's done. Let's open
Today
the
I'm gonna
file and
show
let's see
you
how long it is.
how to over. Today I'm gonna show you.
It's 23 minutes.
Today I'm gonna show you how to overload your function as it's supposed to functions with C macro pretty quickly as it's supposed to be, but I don't know now for now.
Oh, because we need to specify in the flag. Alright, ffmpeg a out and give it a option, and it's gonna start from 1 minute. Let's see. As you can see, it's just 1 minute long. As you can see, it's just 1 minute long.
So as you can see,
And
we have defined few
so
macros.
let's talk about the limitations of this program so far. So it cannot check if the file doesn't exist. It cannot differentiate between a bad argument and a good argument. And if I'm forgetting something, yeah, so I'm not gonna be showing you step by step how I did it. It's pretty easy and trivial. So that's basically it. And for a better sake of, so we can basically strip it like this. So let's say it's bin bash, and let's say trim. Trim, right? So let's go to trim. Oh, I just forget it every time. Okay, and we basically want to turn the entire thing into a script. So the first argument is going to be the input file. So there's a lot of work to be involved. It's just going to be a boilerplate simple example. The 3 is going to be the file, and the 2 is gonna be the output file. Yeah, so we are done. Trim. So yeah, it's not, so let's give it out.mp4 and let's say test 1.mp4 and our configuration file is trim.config, and it started working. So let's check out our video. Test 1.mp4.
Let's see.
And as you can see,
we have defined few macros numerically. So as in,
it's 1 minute long.
let's see.
It's exactly 1 minute long, so yeah, that's a good
So
one.
as you can see, we have defined few macros numerically.
So that's it for this video.
As in,
like it.
the OV0 with the parameter fn and